They said it was impossible. They said,
you can't put together the most elite team of comic book reviewers on the planet and do, a podcast or something like that?
Despite all that, today we can proudly announce. Yeah, they were right. We couldn't do it. So instead, we brought you the most vile, ignorant, unprofessional group of comic book enthusiasts we could find. This is Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic podcast.
Oh, yeah. Fear not, we are back again for another glorious episode of Panel to Panel, the Game Rage comic book podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Daredevil number 6. My name's Josh, here today with Adam.
Greetings.
And we would like you to go to GameRageMagazine.com, where you can hear all of the podcasts. You can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag, YouTube at Game Rage Magazine. Also, you can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official, and you can go to the All Gas No Trash podcast, which is going to be a great episode coming up. As you'll be out when you hear this, you go listen to it. It's going to be a great one. Anyways, all right. Let's get to fucking cracking, shall we?
Yeah.
So what's the? So these are new.
The cover artist is the same. Everybody else is shit. I don't know. For sure, the second person in that list is definitely a new artist, which is evident once you read the book. Because holy fuck, this book looks goddamn atrocious.
Yeah, this
is like a 5-year-old drew this shit. And maybe that's being a bit too harsh, but you could tell that this person's sole purpose is filling in for other people because they probably do this expeditiously.
Yeah. Well, now this is not episode, but we got through the first 5. So is that a common thing or thread that through, like, okay, they hook you in for 5, and then they're like,
sometimes it's even fucking 3.
Damn, it's brutal. What a fucking bait and switch.
It is, dude. I mean, you can't always count on a writer because if people get wind of an artist being really good, they'll just fucking put them on something else that's more noteworthy. Like for Marvel, it might be one of the larger characters. Like, oh, fuck, we need you on one of the bigger books. This book, I mean, you're selling Daredevil, but...
And Daredevil's garbage for us, so you've been selling that, so fuck, let's put you on something good.
Yeah, and that's happened before where artists end up getting put on something else, or some of them even fucking just become cover artists, and that's all they do because that's where the money's at, just to do cover art.
Is that like the comic artist equivalent of getting called up to the majors? Like you go from some book that's like, I don't know, like a third-rate superhero to then, oh, we want you to do Thor or fucking Superman or whatever.
Dude, I remember reading fucking Detective Comics when New 52 relaunched.
Yeah.
There was this guy named Jason Fabok, and he did one issue of Detective Comics and then I think he was like a filler artist or it was a 3-issue arc. Mm-hmm. He did the art. It looked fucking immaculate. It was awesome. And then immediately afterwards, he ascended to doing Justice League.
Damn.
Just because of how
well he did on Batman that they liked it.
Yeah, everybody was just like, oh, holy shit, we got to get this guy on Justice League. So shit just ends up happening like that. And sometimes it's to the detriment of the comic that they were working on originally that people won't be interested. It's like, oh shit, we lost the fucking artist. Like, I'm not really interested in reading them. I mean, sure, the story's great, but it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And evidently, this is the case here where we suffer because the artist, Marco Cicchetto, is, probably couldn't get the issue drawn up quick enough. So they're like, let's have this fucking asshole do it, and then we'll have him back in like issue 6 or 7.
So why do you think that is that he couldn't get it done quick enough? Do you think it's like, oh, he was working on other shit? Or do you think, because like,
it's possible.
How could this asshole do it? Well, clearly because it's less quality. So like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, typically, I think artists usually juggle a couple books, and even the writers do. But, you know, if it ends up becoming too much that they're doing multiple books for Marvel, in this case it's Marvel, that they're like, damn, I can't keep up, so I need somebody else to fill in. So then they just fucking throw somebody else in there.
That's crazy. Man, that's why we need to get an artist. We need an artist on the team at Game Rage. Because we could do, if we had an artist, we could do stuff if we had an artist, man.
I think the better route to go is just accept that you're not going to meet a deadline and just let the book be delayed by 1 month and have it be done when it's done. Like that's the fair route to go.
Yeah, or instead maybe have these assholes, instead of filler for this, maybe throw like do like Chibi Daredevil and like fucking put that out. Be like, oh hey, this month or the issue, just say some shit to him like, oh hey, the issue got delayed, so now we're gonna do this fun little story with Daredevil as a kid, and he's like chibi adorable Daredevil. So like, you know, I don't know, and then that could be a whole new thing that you go down. But just so you don't have to fuck the continuity of like with this now, where now it looks so different, it's just like
crappy.
It looks, like you said, the story's still good, but the art is just like, it's not to the level that it was.
Yeah.
I mean, even when we're fucking looking at, like, look at the fucking like the faces here, man.
Yeah.
This is fucking disgusting. It's all modeled and blobbed together, like.
The streets have no detail.
Yeah. No.
It's just like, oh, let me use a ruler for all this shit.
No, it is. This literally I mean, the way he drew the I don't know if it's a dude or not, but this is literally like, oh yeah, let me just take a fucking straight ruler and just draw this shit out and then quickly get this in and out.
It's good enough for me.
Yeah, good enough for me.
It's good enough for the issue, apparently. I
mean, this shit with the lens flare right here, that's terrible, man. That
it doesn't add anything.
No, it doesn't. This was like an unnecessary lens flare right here.
You put all the effort into the fucking lens flare instead of putting it into the
instead of putting it into the actual picture itself. Like, that's fucking terrible.
So we open with this shop that is opening at 8 in the morning or whatever, and these two employees are fucking pissed off that, well, one of them is that they're opening so goddamn early when there's not even customers, and across the street is their buddy who runs a party shop, like fucking, what's that one place?
Party City?
Party City, right. It's something like akin to that. And
it's literally called It's a Party. Like,
yeah.
Great. You guys couldn't have came up with a fuking clever name for that?
No clever name whatsoever.
And the worst part is, like, okay, this is just lackadaisical. This is like Times New Roman script. It's in black. They couldn't even color it.
With bubbly font and like really drab colors. It's so. I guess the excuse would be is that it's morning, so it would look that way in certain lighting, I suppose.
Maybe, but why wouldn't the whole thing be in this fucking balloon script? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would it just be it's a party? Like, no store would fucking have that.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So they open the store and there's this asshole standing at the other end of the street, and a police car passes by and this fucking dude's like looking menacing and shit, and they're basically saying, well, we paid our end for our protection because cops don't do shit here.
Yeah, also, what is this shit down here supposed to be?
Water.
I don't feel like that's fucking water. It's not raining. There's no water shown anywhere in the streets. How is this car basically submerged in water almost? That really, and then like when it flies off, it's like, this is not even, that's terrible, man. Like, I don't know, sorry.
It's got motion blur.
It's ass. I don't like that.
It's got Tron motion blur.
Tron motion blur, yeah. It's like this little, somebody on a light cycle comes behind him.
Yeah, and we have this menacing figure who's been lounging around or loitering, and these two people that run the other end of the shop on the opposite end of the street for, I don't know what the fuck kind of business they run. They're like, well, we fucking paid our end for the protection, quote unquote, this gangster protection from the Owl, who's the character that we were introduced in previous issues. They paid for the party store's end because they couldn't make it. They couldn't make their offerings to the gang to continue their protection or prevent getting their ass beat. So then we work our way towards Matt Murdock, who is now living his life as just a regular Joe, being a public defendant. And my God, what a sight to see with this horrendous fucking... Oh my God! It's
what
just
the
painful,
fuck, man. Like,
he's like squiggly,
dude. It looks like he's floating. It looks like he's like Jesus floating in the air. Like, this is fucking horrific. Like, I get what they were trying to show, but this is not it, man. This is fucking terrible. You know what he looks like? You know that fucking guy from Don't Be a Menace, and it's the dude in the wheelchair with his legs are all fucking floppy? That's what his legs look like right there. That is fucking terrible.
Yeah, so he's just giving a monologue. He's like, oh, I hung it up.
Yeah.
I'm no longer the Daredevil. I mean, Daredevil is fucking dead as far as anybody knows.
Yeah. And then we get this here, and then there we go. This is basically what it looks like they drew the whole thing as, this little stick figure devil right here.
Yeah.
They might as well have just done that with this.
So then we cut to Cole North and Higgins, who are back at the police department, and Cole North gets called over to the... Who's like the highest person?
She's like I think it's the captain. Oh,
the commissioner.
The captain? No, the commissioner. I think in New York, the commissioner is like the chief of police or whatever.
Okay.
But who does he say wants her? He just says the lady's name, right?
Yeah, they haven't even said what this woman's name is. But anyways, Cole's going on about this business about how some cops are fucking dirty. Mm-hmm. Others are into the idea of justice and stopping crime. Others are about padding their own stats, like baseball fucking statistics and shit. He's like, I just want to stop crime. And as far as I know, Daredevil is not active, so that's enough for me. And that's all he cares about. So then he gets motioned over to the, you said the captain?
Captain is what he says, yeah.
And she's basically on his ass about whatever happened in the past with fighting Daredevil and shit. Or what is it? So now her next order of business for him is to go after Spider-Man. He's like, you got any fucking leads? He's like, no, this one's a little bit harder because this motherfucker's mobile as fuck.
It's Spider-Man. Like, the fuck am I supposed to do about Spider-Man?
Yeah. So now we have... I don't know if that's going to be something that's going to happen in the future, that Spider-Man's going to be involved down the road, but now that they fucking mentioned that the police department has him in the sights, maybe. So now we get to see Matt Murdock.
I just want to say, this fucking shot right here, he looks like a Cyclops. Like, this is fucking horrific, man. I feel like I could have done better drawing this, and I can't draw for shit.
And he's much more of a imposing figure. Like, he has like a Greek god physique.
Yeah.
And he looks more meek.
Yeah, he looks like a child with a beard right here. That's what he fucking looks like. And then the way they drew him, he looks like he's 3.5 feet tall. Look at how big the door is. Like, he's only like fucking 6 feet from the door, and his head barely goes up to the fucking doorknob. Like, get the fuck out of here.
So now we cut over to Matt Murdock, who's just enjoying civilian life, and how he's able to just pick up on little details about people just based on his heightened senses. And he runs into this gentleman that his name's Edmund, and he's passing off these pamphlets, and he's like, man, I'm fuck prisons and all this shit. All it does is imprison people. It's a racist tool for capitalism. He's like, you should check it out. And he's like, dude, I'm blind. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, but I'll definitely fucking give it a look. I'll have somebody else read it for me. So,
Yeah. That was pretty funny. He's like, yeah, thanks, fella.
And then we get to something more interesting within the issue itself, which was Kingpin Wilson Fisk, or otherwise known as Wilson Fisk, who is fucking barreling through these prison inmates, beating the utter shit out of them for his own enjoyment. For what reason other than building physical fitness to develop his physical prowess? I mean, he's on the verge of like killing this one fucking dude, and this art is simultaneously horrendous and also somewhat horrific to look at because his eyes are bulging out. He looks like an orange with fucking eye.
Yeah, you know that meme with the orange and it's got like the fucking face on it? Like that's what he looks like.
And his assistant's like, part of the deal of you doing this business of just fucking up prison inmates is that you return them alive. He's like, yeah, but usually I kill people like this.
Yeah.
He's like, I could do that. I could get away. But he's like, yeah, but you're kind of high profile now. You're a mayor, so you can't get away with those type of things. You're not a criminal anymore, or at least not outwardly a criminal. His fucking assistant basically walks him down from killing a fucking inmate.
I also think it's hilarious how he's wearing a fucking full karate like get up with the black belt and everything like that. Yeah. That's fucking funny.
And then we get Daredevil, who goes to this bookstore looking for some specific book or whatever, and he encounters this woman, and I think he's trying to feel out if there's any interest in him because he's so fucking vain. And apparently she later reveals that she's actually married. He's like, oh no, I could tell because her heartbeat remained at rest and like all these things because of his heightened senses and shit. So I'm not actually sure what, off my own recollection, like what was the purpose of this scene? Is that he was trying to get a book?
He's trying to find some book or whatever. I will also say, man, the way this motherfucker draws hands is fucking disgusting. Like, terrible. I think he drew 6 fingers right here with this fucking asshole. And then this guy has some fucking weird growth coming out of in between his fingers and they're too far apart. I don't know. It's terrible. But anyways, this was basically... I think the point of this scene was showing that maybe now he's thinking about getting a girlfriend since he's like... Because he goes out of his way to say like, oh, she's definitely not interested because her heartbeat or whatever. And he's like, huh. And then... he's like, oh, let me get this book. And then she's like, oh, yeah, I'll tell you about this. And it's for my buddy for his birthday. And I need it by this day. And she's like, okay. And then he's like, here's my number, baby. Like, go ahead and give me a holla if, you want. And then that's when he's like...
She mentioned that he was mayor at one point. He's like, oh, yeah, just for a heartbeat.
Right. And... then he's like, oh yeah, I lied that I said it was for my friend. I just like collecting old pieces of paper because, I'm blind. So like, why the fuck would I be buying these books?
Yeah.
Like an asshole. I just have so much expendable income. I can literally buy them on useless things. Like literally useless things to him. There's no way that's useful to him in any way.
And he just refers to her as having this... interesting smell to her, which was some combination of flowers and the stench of books or some bullshit.
Jesus Christ, I didn't even see the name of the bookstore. I didn't notice that until right now. Books are awesome.
Yeah, no creativity whatsoever for the party store or
the bookstore, man.
Goddamn, really phoned it in.
That is fucking terrible.
So they chats it up with fucking Foggy, and he's like, "Oh man, what are you up to, my dog?"
Yeah,
he's
what's cracking, homie?
Fucking working. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, me too, man. I'm a civilian again." And then Cole North is, in a contemplative state about capturing Spider-Man because he wants to do away with superheroes, as is Wilson Fisk. So he ends up talking to Higgins. He's like, oh, man, tomorrow will be better, man. I know it's been a hard couple weeks for you with all this bullshit.
Yeah.
And then we cut over to Wilson Fisk and his assistant, and he's still worked up about not being able to kill a motherfucker, the prison inmate.
I will say, too, I'm also a little fucking weirded out by why there's so many goddamn shower scenes in this fucking book so far.
Shower
This
scenes.
is like the third shower scene we've had
Is it really?
in 6 issues. Yeah. We had one with Cole North. We had one with Daredevil.
Yeah.
And then now this is the third one. Why? It's only been 6 issues. Why would you see these assholes taking showers so much?
Body representation. You're like, we need
Damn. But it's like you can't even draw it like this one. This is unnecessary. You can't even draw it that well. So why the fuck will you need to see this?
Vincent D'Onofrio. What's your name, fat body?
That's so good. Oh, man. Lawrence, well, he kind of looks like him, too, a little bit.
Dude, and he's like in a I don't know if it's a gorilla position, but he just walks out naked, his assistant, but he's hunched over and it just looks odd. Yeah, so Wilson Fisk is pissed about not being able to kill one of the prison inmates. He's like, dude, you need to fucking chill or else we're gonna get in trouble, because if you end up killing somebody, people are gonna know.
Yeah.
And so then we cut over to Matt Murdock, who is doing his job as a public
now he's like a parole officer.
He's a parole.
Which also, how fucking long has it been since the last fucking, like, where in the timeline are we at? Because you don't just roll up from being like a fucking defense attorney to, oh yeah, now I'm gonna be a parole officer. Like, that's not how that works. I'm a little fucking upset about this. Was this like 2 weeks later? All of a sudden he's like, oh, you guys, I'm a parole officer now.
I don't know, man.
Fucking idiot.
Anyways,
yeah, sorry.
So we cut over to Matt Murdock, who is chatting it up with this woman who happens to convert all the information that he needs into Braille, because he can't fucking read with printed paper and all that shit. And then he meets up with this dude named Keith, who is a drug addict, and he's like, man, you need to do all these things or else you're going to end up back in, was it prison or jail?
Yeah, wherever. Look, they forgot to draw his beard right here on this fucking panel. That's terrible. Yeah, he tells him like, oh yeah, you're going to... Oh yeah, and then he tells him, this guy's fucked and freaked out because he's blind.
Yeah.
Then he's like, oh, don't worry. He's like, I got you, buddy. I can see everything.
So
it's
Cole
like, oh, now it like intergoes between this Cole North and fucking Daredevil.
Yeah.
In this monologue deal, where now Cole North is like walking on the street and he's like, ah, shit. He's like, I'm getting followed, man.
Yeah.
And then it kicks back to Daredevil, and he's like, he's braille reading this fucking file, this dossier that was put there for him. And so he basically just tells him like, all right, man, you're doing this shit for 6 months. You need to check in every week, no exceptions. Here's the rules, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no fucking drugs or alcohol. There's a stipulation. I want to tell you this, right? The guy's like, oh, no, I know. I'm good, man. I'm clean. And then Daredevil just, you see him just, he's like, hands in front of his mouth.
That's the Gendo Akari, dude.
Boy. Like, he's
You're
about
full of shit.
Yeah, he's about to school this motherfucker. And then it kicks back to Cole North as he's walking down the streets, and he's just like, well... He's like, I guess the lazy cops want to get rid of me, and he's like, because I the vigilantes did their jobs for them. Dirty cops want to get rid of me because they were getting paid to deal with the Daredevil and monitor him. Nope, no more Daredevil, no more money. He's like, well, I guess I'm about to get my ass beat. So, and then that's when it flips back to this shit with Daredevil, and he's like telling him basically like, nah, man. Oh, you've been drinking? No, I can smell it. Actually, he's like, you smell like cocaine, baby. And he's like, man, you either just pissed yourself or you have a bag of urine on you for the drug test. And he's like, what the fuck? And then it kicks back again. And
Cole North gets ambushed by the police department itself, the people that are paid off and shit.
Man, and the gat on this one. Whoo!
Yeah.
And then this was very disjointed. This whole fucking thing was super disjointed. And also, I feel like I'm watching this be rendered on a PS1. Like,
dude, it's so shitty. And the way the guy's lunging at him with a punch,
That's not even how you would punch, man. Like, fuck, dude. You not know how body mechanics work? Jesus. This is terrible. Anyways, yeah, he's getting punched. Daredevil's explaining to him that his nose is the best and that he'll fucking do this. And he's like, listen, man. He's like, you need to get help for your addictions. I'll help you out, right? Like, I'll help you do that. But he's like, you got to know, I know everything, all right? Like, I know this shit. And then here goes this, I don't know, now he looks like LeBron James for some reason. I don't know what the fuck.
He looks like fucking the king of, God damn it, what's that planet that, Jeremy?
What planet?
Star Wars? Oh my God. It's
The
not
king?
the dark motherfucker.
Oh, Carl Weathers?
Nah, not Carl.
What are you talking about? Oh, Lando Calrissian?
No. Was he the parent, like the adoptive parents of Queen or fucking Princess Leia?
Oh, you mean Captain Oh, no, wait, the adoptive parents. Oh, yeah, Jimmy Smits?
Jimmy, he looks like fucking Jimmy Smith, sort of.
Yeah, he kind of does now that you say that. That's pretty funny. And then...
What was his character's name? Just so I could put...
Bail Organa.
Okay, fine.
That was his name.
All right.
Fuck yeah. Useless Star Wars fucking trivia ingrained in my brain forever. And now, obviously, Cole North is fighting these assholes, and Daredevil's going on about how he used to be a lawyer, and he knows what it's like, and he's like, blah, 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 the system's broken.
He was getting lectured about by that Edmund fellow in the streets.
Yeah, basically. And then they're just beating Cole North's ass with batons now. They're just fucking...
Wailing on him.
This lady looks like she's literally like breathing, like, you know that where it's like your teeth overhang and then like you're fucking breathing through your nose and shit. Like that's
It looks
terrible.
like a fucking dog when they growl at you.
Yeah. And then now Cole North falls on the ground and he's just like, oh man, I gotta prick my head, man.
Yeah, he's as good as dead.
Yep, he's like, they're gonna beat my ass. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, you hear a bang, and then dudes get shot. Bang, 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 bang. And he's like, oh fuck, what the fuck? This bitch gets shot in the head.
Yeah, she gets planted.
Toasted.
Laced.
Done. And then you just see these assholes in the distance with guns. And then the guy says, thanks, from the out. And then he fucking passes out for getting rid of the Daredevil.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was Punisher. He's like,
That's what I thought.
Where the fuck is Daredevil?
Yeah, I need to kill this bitch. Like,
Yeah.
he does not get to... I broke out of jail, and now I'm gonna kill this motherfucker.
Yeah, so that's how that particular part of the story ends with Cole North, and then we see the two characters, or rather one of the characters, the female who walks into the party store and informs that she's going to be throwing a 50th party for her partner, and she's just kind of rummaging through the store and shit, and then the store eventually gets ambushed by some unknown figures, and she's like, oh fuck, well, this guy didn't pay his end for the protection, and we can't do that because we could barely afford ours. So then all you see her is looking up to the Daredevil costume, assuming that she may put on the the attire to scare off these people, or she's considering it. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's how the issue ends.
Yeah, that's where it ends.
All right, cool. Once again, this issue heavily suffered from the art itself. It's so fucking like amateurish, and I would dare say, I mean, is it offensive to say childlike or just elementary?
No, man, I think Chloe drew this. Like, Chloe could have did a better job on her construction paper. All right?
It's just a hard read when the art is not meeting the writing, because I do think the part about Matt Murdock playing a parole officer and just kind of living out his life as a regular person, it could be interesting, but it's just the art doesn't make it any. It doesn't make it any more interesting. It actually kind of hurts the book itself. So I don't know how long this is going to end up happening that we have to read with this fucking art, but oh man, it's going to make me dread reading this book. I could already tell.
Yeah, it's already going to be a pain. I can already feel it's a pain in my ass right now. So I guess we'll just have to see. Hopefully it improves. That's all we can really hope for, is
Right.
that the shit improves and we don't have to deal with this for the rest of the time. So I don't know. Anyways, all right. Well, fuck. I guess that'll be it for you. You got anything else?
No, I don't have it. I just want to end this episode as quickly as possible so we can just get to the next thing.
All right. If you want to check out our shit, go to GameRageMagazine.com. Game Rage Magazine on Instagram and TikTok, at Game Rage Mag, Twitter/X. YouTube, Game Rage Magazine. Follow Adam All Gas No Trash Official. Go listen to All Gas No Trash. That's it. Go fuck yourselves. Hopefully they do better. Do better, Daredevil, even though I know this took place like fucking 5 years ago now at this point, but whatever.
That was Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic book podcast. Thanks for listening. If you want to know more and follow along, go to Instagram and TikTok. Follow at Game Rage Magazine. If you want to follow on Twitter/X, at Game Rage Mag. Tune in next time.